So Luke, why don't we start with you? Can you just let us know, from your point of view, because you get to hear how updates have gone. How's the current update gone? Is it, being received well and proving to be stable? And
Look, the update's gone out really well. Haven't had any major issues so far. We have sent out another patch since we released our AI side of things that had some changes for Microsoft, and we wanted to get those out well and truly before they came into effect, before they started impacting users. But all in all, the AI changes have gone out and have been reciprocated really, really well.
okay, and so people who are kind of hesitating putting the update on, there's kind of no reason for them to hesitate. It's
No,
nice, stable, good, solid update. People are reacting well.
there hasn't been any influx on the support desk and things like that. So that proves to us that it's been a good release.
Okay. So that leads to the next question. Um, and that really is what's next? I mean, what can you see that you can talk about today being in the next release?
Okay, so the next one's going to be a bit of a softish sort of release. So it's probably going to go into beta in the next week or so.
Yep.
So there's things like we've got support for new scales. So the CAS PD2 scales and the PDN scales for both single store and multi store. We've done some improvements to the AI invoicing from user feedback, which gives them the flexibility to do quick edits on existing products.
Yep.
So we've also done some improvements from feedback as well on the invoicing as well. We're now referencing the ABN numbers to match the suppliers immediately before doing descriptions, because that's a unique reference point. We've got some changes made to our orders process. So now what we'll actually do is we'll actually link orders up post invoice arrival. So with the implementation of things like AI invoicing, where your internal purchase orders may not be linked before, they're going to link up, and you can link them up post. So that way, if there are any back orders or things missing, it can automatically generate those orders for you. That'll also affect your EDI arrivals and CSV invoice arrivals as well.
And that
Uh,
closes the loop on that, doesn't it, Luke? So where your
yeah,
purchase orders, where you're arriving stuff electronically, either via the AI or EDI invoices, it will now mark those purchase orders as being received.
yeah. And as a part of that as well, we've made some improvements on visualizing those orders within the stock screen. So now you'll be able to see when you go to a set stock item, is that item on order? What's the status of that order? And we've also created those symbolic links to those areas of the program. So you can actually click on it and go to the designated order, or if it's been arrived, the designated invoice. And you can also go to the customer orders all from within the stock screen. So it's just making it coherent from start to finish.
So you're saying that's kind of what's in the next update, which is,
Yep.
as you said, is sort of not a big update.
Yep.
So look, that's great. I know you've probably got some more things you want to read off a list, but what's the next big thing after that?
Oh, there's lots of big things. There's lots of things. AI is changing rapidly on a daily basis. There's some things that we've got in the works at the moment that are proving to be not too bad. It's just all about refining the prompts and the calls.
So
Uh,
so just for people's reference though, um, for you, it's not just a matter of saying, "Hey, this is what we'll do." You've got to play with it yourself, and gain some experience with what you might be considering to see whether something's achievable from a commercial point of view to deliver to customers. So that process is quite a time-consuming process, isn't it?
it is. Look, there's been several cases, especially with the AI aspect, where we've tried things and they have not worked. So we'll bench it, and then you can come back a few weeks later, try it again on a new model that's been released, and get improved results. So that effort is not lost. But yeah, it is a bit toing and throwing. Just trial and error, see whether or not it works. Benchmark it against the results that you're expecting, and other sets of data, and then yeah, basically making a decision on whether or not to pursue it.
Okay. And is the AI stuff, would you say that's kind of top of mind for you right now in terms of your focus?
It is. We've just got limitations on what we can do, but it is very much front of mind in where we can leverage it and really assist users on a day-to-day basis within the software.
Okay. The other thing I wanted to ask you about is software ideas. If we look back over the last 12 months, you've addressed in one way or another about 100 software ideas. And by addressed, I mean some have resulted in new facilities being added or significant changes being delivered. And others you've addressed by saying, well, hey, that idea is actually already in the software and here it is. And so you've gone back on at least 100 of those. But how often are you getting a chance to look at software ideas and consider what people are suggesting?
Look, I usually review software ideas on a Friday. That's usually my
Is
time
that
I
is that with a
set
beer?
myself away.
Are you doing it with a beer?
Go through, review who any requests that have come through, and respond and pop up whichever ideas need to be up for vote. And then we just go and have a look to see what votes have come through as well during that same process.
I said, do you do that with a beer on a Friday or?
No, normally it's first thing in the morning, so it's probably a bit early at 7 o'clock in the morning to be cracking the cold ones.
Okay. What about you, Gavin? What questions have you got for Luke?
Uh, I know there's a couple of key things coming down the line. Did you want to talk maybe about what the kit functionality is?
The kit,
Hmm.
you can if you'd like. So, so
Well,
kit
first of
just
all, let's go back a step. When you say kit, Gavin, what are you referring to as a kit?
So a kit is similar to a manufactured good. Um, but think of it, say, like a computer build or a say an aquarium build. But something that is while there's the kit there, people may want to change it. They may want to remove a part and add a part in. So the analogy we've been using a lot is the computer build where you're advertising, say, it may be a gaming computer. And then the customer who's purchasing that decides, well, I don't want that component. I want to replace it with this component. So it's functionality to allow you to replace components easily and then have the individual components listed on receipts and sales reports for when they're actually sold.
And look, it could be a fishing shop that's selling rod, reel, um, uh, nets, a whole bunch of things together. It could be a pet shop that's selling kind of a starter pack for someone who's getting a new puppy.
Mhm. But it also could be food too.
Yeah, right.
So if you're doing, say, a burger, for instance, you could have a an option where you're removing the beef for chicken, for instance. So you can have a kit set up for the burger and make changes to that. And you can define what the products are that you are able to be replaced with it. So, for instance, if you want to replace the beef patty with a chicken patty, then you would add the chicken patty in as a separate item and link it to that particular kit. So it'll also flow through using the functionality called bundles that exists on Shopify, Woo, and BigCommerce as well. So those will flow through as those particular kits. So you'll have the same functionality as you would have in the software as well available online.
So, Luke, you're developing, or your crew is developing enhancements in Retailer to deal with kits.
Yes. Just on that, with the sales as well, when they come back in, they're going to be identified as a kit from those web platforms as well. So that gives you real transparency and really means that what's sold on the web is represented on the receipt and your sales history as well internally.
Okay. Um, Big question. When do you think you might have something ready for people?
That's the $1 million question. Look, we've done the development in point of sale, quote and invoice management. We're about to move on to the website of things. There's two things we need to do with that. It's the retailer side, and it's also the link to those web platforms as well. So once we've got that knuckled down, then we will probably be a bit clearer on what we can give a date. It shouldn't be too far away though.
Oh, so probably by June?
I wouldn't say by June. I wouldn't want to commit to something like that because
It
things
won't be in this update, but hopefully the next one.
Yeah, it's close.
Yep.
Right, so Luke, Gavin's just made a commitment on your behalf.
I said hopefully. It was an asterisk on that.
Okay. Did either of you have anything else you wanted to kind of bring to people?
Not specifically, no. I don't have anything else other than kits at the moment that we're ready to talk about.
No, I think the update's going well. The more people that are going onto the AI side of the AI invoicing, I think is the real big one. They're really seeing real time saving there, so they can reinvest that time within the business.
Look, it's massive time saving for sure. The other thing that I'd mention is people using the AI chatbot on our website for kind of first level support. I know, Gavin, we've seen data recently where the chatbot has been involved with 3,000 queries from customers, and around 800 of those ended up being handed off to humans, which is the chatbot doing its job.
Mm.
The others were resolved successfully. So its track record is very good, and it's able to handle, moderately complex queries. But the thing is, it's able to do this 24/7 for people.
Mm.
And I think that's a big thing.
Yeah, I pulled some data yesterday, and its resolution rate at the moment is sitting at 82.5% resolved.
Right. And so anybody's got access to this. They can ask it questions. It's only been trained in our knowledge.
Mhm.
So it's not hallucinating. It's not going outside of the tower world to get responses for people.
Correct. It's only based on the knowledge base, the same knowledge base that you have access to do your own research and so forth for issues and so forth. So it's only trained in that knowledge. So it's 100% correct and peer reviewed.
Luke, have you tested it at all?
I use it occasionally when I want to look to see whether or not our documentation's reflective of what we've made a change to.
And you're seeing that it's pretty up to date.
Yeah, the guys are keeping on top of the articles, which then transposes to the chatbot, so which is good.
Okay. Hey, Kim, we can see you there. I don't know if you've got a microphone at all, but did you have any questions for us? Maybe Kim's just being a voyeur and not.
Oh.
Here we go. Kim?
Trying to get my audio.
No, we've got you.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So I'm Tiani, Kim's the boss. I am currently new to the whole retailer system. I'm still in the training process. So I'm just joining the team to get as much knowledge as I could. The AI invoicing is really interesting to me, saying that that's saving everyone so much time. Could you elaborate a little bit for that?
We're getting some other sounds. I don't know, Gavin, if you were able to pick a lot of that up.
I think it was specifically around the AI invoicing. Did you want us to run through how that works, Tani?
Yeah, if you could elaborate a little.
I can show it if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just share my screen and then all right. All right, so you should see my screen now. So when we go into invoice arrivals, we've got this AI import facility now. So once you go into the AI import facility, what you can do is you can select a particular invoice. I'm just going to pick up one of my invoices here. It's a PDF invoice. It doesn't have to be an Excel or a CSV, but it can. Once you pick that invoice up, we can then analyze the file. What that does is it sends it through to an AI provider to extract all of the data on that particular invoice. And basically, it pops it into a grid with the supplier, invoice number, the arrival dates, and then it has all of those particular products on that invoice. And as you can see, it's actually balanced my invoice to the cent. It will give me, it'll match up the items where it can with supplier stock codes or barcode numbers. Beyond that, if they're in red, it obviously doesn't have those items in the system. We do have some tools so that we can quickly generate barcodes for all of those items if they don't have them, or you can scan barcodes directly. And then once you've done that, you can just do a add all stock items, and that'll actually add each one of those products in that specified department that we've got set. And you've got your pricing, your retail pricing. You can change it all live within the grid. Once you're happy with that invoice, we can then go save to arrivals. And then what we can do is we can do either an instant arrival or an EDI arrival. If we do an EDI arrival, it'll do the standard like CSV arrival process and loop through each particular item and stop and prompt us if there's cost price changes and things like that. Otherwise, if we do an instant arrival, it'll use what's in the grid as its pricing. And once that goes through that process, it'll then just finish up in the invoice arrival screen with your totals. So the time it takes to do these arrivals is so much quicker than if you sit there and type in each individual item in. Just on that as well, so we've also in that invoice arrival form, I'll just use that same invoice. So next time it comes through and you analyze it, it won't have them all as red. It'll just know what those products are, updated prices, and basically, as soon as you're happy with your retails, you'll just go to instant arrival.
Look, it's fair to say we've heard from customers who are using this. Somebody the other day was saying that this is saving them more in labor costs per week than what the software itself costs. So this one function alone is the software paying for itself easily, not including all of the other benefits they get from using the software.
Yeah, well, there's other aspects of the AI tools that we've actually implemented, like the blog posts and also the pricing elements as well, along with things like the legacy AI work that we did with extended descriptions, where they can get it to generate AI text as well for your website. So you've got all those additional tools within the software.
Pretty awesome.
So that's the new functionality there that you're showing us.
Yeah, that's the new quick edit option. So we had some requests from users that once they'd actually popped items in, they may wanted to go check an item if it's a web store item or if they want to change a web description. So that they can easily do it, we've added this new little pop-out quick edit screen. So it just gives them their details. They've got the option to do web descriptions or web store items, discounts, whatnot.
And Luke, is this out now? This
will be the next. This will be going out in the beta next week. Well, this week, next week. So yeah, this is one of some of the feedback we got from users.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's that side of things. There's the new order linking that we were talking about. Yep. And the other one was within the stock screen, the reordering. So we've got these new, this ordering grid that tells you basically what orders they're on, when they've arrived, their invoices, and you can jump to it straight from those straight away.
Okay.
Straight to the order. Makes life easier.
Nice.
And we've also added the customer orders that we didn't actually have within the customer screen, within the stock screen as well. So if you're within a stock item and you need to do an order for a customer, you can do it straight within the stock screen without leaving the area. Mm-hmm. Just improving the flow and the functionality and just make it a lot easier.
Okay. That's very cool.
So
Uh,
yeah, that was all you wanted me to show on the AI side of things.
I think so.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, so they've responded and they're happy to have seen that. Um, on that, Luke, have you had other feedback from people using the AI tools that you haven't been able to kind of work on developing for them yet?
Not at this stage. Really, just some of the limitations that the AI does have is things like if you give it an invoice and there's no referencing data, like there's no barcode or no supply stock code, it can only do what it can do. It won't be able to match those items up. There is some smarts within the software that when you do go enter in the find screen, it'll take you to the closest description match. But if you've changed the description to what the invoice has got, it's only going to get close to what you've got. So the AI can only do so much, but I would say, a good 90% of scenarios, it will pretty well knock it on the head.
So I was using Google Gemini this morning. I prefer Gemini over ChatGPT, and I've got access to 2.5 Pro, a beta release access to that. And so I was asking it about kind of how it sees tower positioning against a range of other companies. And it's really interesting that Gemini is really focused on the AI tools in our software as being a key differentiator. And it's using the word like exciting when describing it. And, so I would say, hey, can you compare tower systems with company XYZ? And it's fascinating that Gemini is, indexing very highly the AI tools above other functionality because it and look, you know you'd expect an AI platform to support its own, but it's talking very positively about this as being a game changer for small business because small businesses are often the last ones to get technological innovation. And we've instead gone down the path of giving small business retailers something that a lot of big business retailers don't have access to themselves yet. I know it's pretty amazing. I thought you guys would be pretty awesome stuff.
No, it is good. That's good.
Yep. So, Gavin, if you had control of Luke, what would you be having him work on that he's not working on today?
I do have control of Luke.
Oh, I think that's questionable. I think that's really questionable.
Well, that's an interesting question. Look, there's a bunch of stuff that we're looking at from an AI perspective that for reasons we're not able to deliver just yet. One is just more the AIs themselves aren't ready for what we're trying to throw at it, and some other technical issues as well. So it would probably be that for at the moment, just getting
Mm.
the stuff that we want to be able to do with AI delivered in a timely fashion. That would probably be the key thing for us.
I do think that the focus of any business, particularly small business, has got to be to drive value for the stakeholders in the business, and that is the owners and the people who work in the business. And by value, I mean really profitability.
Hmm.
And oftentimes, small business retailers aren't as focused on that as they need to be. And so, if our AI tools can embrace that focus and help small business retailers in ways that the retailers hadn't considered, then that helps them make more money, which helps them enjoy their business more, which helps them be able to sell their business for a better price when they choose to get to that point in their life.
Everything that we've done with AI has been through that lens. Is how can it help drive profitability? Now, the AI invoicing one is driving your costs down, therefore it's making your profitability better. The pricing is, helping you sell your items for the right pricing, so that's helping drive your profitability. That even the blog posting one is driving traffic to your website and even to your shop locally as well. That's helping to boost sales, which is therefore enhancing your profit. So everything that we're doing with the AI is through that lens. And yeah, that's the main discussion is how does it add value?
Yeah. And look, even though this is, we're recording this for customers, the reality is, as a software company, we're only focused on small business retailers. That's our entire customer base. So we're not serving big businesses at all. And so, there's a lot of lip service provided to small business by politicians especially, but our focus is on delivering, going beyond lip service and delivering these practical tools. Um, so, Luke, if we bring it back to you as we kind of wind up, the challenge is you've got to balance this, really cool area and rapidly changing area of AI with the kind of the everyday that people are focused on as well. Because you're still doing enhancements in the software in that kind of everyday area, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah. Look, like that's a bit like what you're seeing in that the current beta that we're going to send out. Like there's some everyday changes in there that's not AI focused, but we've still got a big back end AI work going on at the same time. So yeah, we've got to keep that process moving. AI is not good for every implementation. There's definitely a point where you need to use it, but yeah, we're still focusing on the internals of retailer as well.
Yep. All right. Thanks, guys.